You know, someone said it was worth it.
No, it's not. It's over. It's over. I was right on the runway. That sounded like a car. Really? Yeah.
Come on, Dan, let's
First responders, our response teams are all suited up and ready. They are in front of you, they are to the left, they are to the right, they're behind you too. Getting a thumbs up there. Our F-15 is getting formed up as well. And our opening ceremonies, just a couple minutes away now. Green lights have gone all the way up to boss control here now. Everybody's reporting we're ready to go in just seconds. Look above you right now. You see Rob Holland tucked in under that Dash 8, that beautiful Golden Knights jump platform. Very shortly, our first performer is going to approach 125 miles per hour without wings, without an aircraft, free falling to get things underway. Rob Holland moves away. That means the jumper's getting ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes to the sky as we are about to begin. Our Golden Knight, free falling, approaching over 125 miles an hour now. Where they say the air feels like a big pillow pushing back on you. And I'm going to take their word for it because I do not have the courage to ever do this. But as you can see, Rob Holland helping spot. We've got a good canopy. Smoke is out, ladies and gentlemen. And we are just about ready to get things underway officially. Lower and lower they come. More coming up from our Golden Knights a little bit later as well. Still lower. The target is right out here in front of us. At Show Center, you see the blade in the wind. Our Golden Knight standing in front of us. That's the destination. Rob Holland continues to circle, and now, ladies and gentlemen, I'll ask that you stand as able. Remove your caps for the national anthem. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the ground, a great reflector of sound. Let our Golden Knight know how proud you are of the work they do for us. Give it up as a thank you for their service. The Golden Knights are back with lots more, too, as now the colors fly to the surface on demand anywhere in the world with 21 assigned F-15 Eagle aircraft. The 104th is trained to provide 24/7 airspace control alerts, providing armed F-15 fighters ready to scramble at a moment's notice to protect the Northeast United States from any airborne threat. Security for 1/4 of the nation's population and over 1/3 of the gross domestic product. Defended by these aircraft and these men and women. They will be back. And as we begin with the F-15s that will slowly be removed from service to make way for the new F-35, we will do the same thing. Afternoon, the jet that will move into Barnes in the days ahead. High above us right now, dropping down, with just a tease of what to expect later this afternoon, is your 12-time freestyle champion, the U.S. 11-time national champion, and already I think you can see why. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rob Holland and the incredible demonstration of freedom as he flies.
Yeah, I like this right here.
Nobody flies like Rob Holland. Just you watch and see.
Mr. World. Let's just do what I want and have a good
So up at the top where you think he runs out of energy, he doesn't. He's got it right on the numbers. And what? Flips the airplane forward in a forward somersault. No one's supposed to be able to do that, ladies and gentlemen. But he's figured it out. Not only to figure that out, but how to fly right out of it and come back at you at the other 45-degree angle, back to the right of the box, as he continues to put these aerobatic maneuvers together, one right after the other, non-stop action. He never gives up, even when gravity, well, it sucks. Even when gravity tries to pull him back, he makes it look fancy, defies it, flips the airplane around, and continues to fly.
Made it right, now feel free. Do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want. Feel free. Just live your life, cause we don't live twice, feel free.
Incredible roll rate. of the MX, and it's designed specifically for the way he flies. That incredibly fast roll rate, gyroscopically, can do magical things, beautiful things. As he gets to the top again, he pulls to change direction, comes right out of it, and then just muscles the airplane to stay in the air for a second before he pushes, floats at 0G, and comes back the other way.
We were born to be free. We were born to be free. Let's escape and feel free. Yeah. Australia. We were born to be free. We were born to be free. Let's escape and feel free. Yeah. We were born to be free.
He calls that the inverted frisbee, because that's what it looks like. His mind is never idle, always thinking up new and creative ways to fly. When it comes to freestyling again, 12 times he's dominated the U.S. scene, 5 times world champion. Ladies and gentlemen, that is just a tease. What Rob's going to do right now is stay over the runways, because off to the left, you may not be able to see this, suddenly we have this great ball of fire going on, and that's the 2 afterburners of the Flash Fire Jet Truck. The world's fastest fire truck, if you will, capable of doing over 400 miles per hour. It's going to make its way down the show line. You're all going to get a good look. And then it's going to get out here, and Rob Holland and Mark Smith, the driver or pilot of this amazing fire truck with 2 jet engines, 25,000 horsepower, is going to get out on the runway, and they are going to let it rip. Based on a 1940 fire truck, twin Rolls-Royce jet engines, again totaling over 24,000 horsepower, holds the Guinness record for fire trucks at an amazing 407 miles per hour. Now that's a response time. Flames up into the sky on those big afterburners. And man, when it gets close enough to, if you've got loose fillings, you're going to know all about it if that thing goes by you. Because it is that ultra low frequency, those big booms, as he lights those afterburners. Just, you feel it. You not only see it, you hear it, and you'll feel the heat as it goes by as well. Mark and the team, the Aftershock, have come up with the ultimate way to stop tailgating, I think. I'd love to get this thing out of the turnpike. Listen and look at that. You need sunscreen just to get close to this thing. He's just popping those afterburners. It's popping and popping. It's going to make its way even closer to us here at Show Right. Fear not. Going to head out onto the taxiway and up and down the runway for a bit before Rob Holland comes down, and they have a little bit of a duel for us. Wayne is already out of the safety car, the little yellow car you see out on the left there. That's all about keeping things safe out there. As Mark Smith puffs and puffs and gets the Aftershock ready to go. Out on the taxiway now, getting closer to the runway. He's got sirens on it too, and the flashing lights. It's hard sometimes to hear the sirens over all of those afterburners, those big jet engines, but it is a full, there, I can hear the sirens now. That's a fire truck. And Rob Holland getting right in his face there. So close. As he tries to get into Mark's head down, because I think they want to have a little bit of a race, to say the least. Here comes the business end. Look out.
Mark gets turned around now. Here comes Rob Holland again. Get your cameras out. Get it on video. Look out. Oh!
And a world record run again, 400 and some miles an hour. Conditions are right. Almost every time, more than 350. Remember that Rob flies, look how close he gets to that burner. Rob flies around 300 miles an hour, so he's going to get a jump. And that's max out with the MX, RH. So he's going to drop down. And we're going to see what happens here. Setting up the safety aspect, make sure that it's a fair start as well. Because he's got no rear view mirrors in this. It's not like he needs rear view mirrors. And Wayne will let him know when we're ready to go. So ladies and gentlemen, Rob Holland dropping down, getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. Let's listen for the engines to come up. I hear the sirens. Rob's going to do it inverted. Come on. Here we go. Jets are on. Rob Holland's coming up to the finish line where the C-130 is, but look at the Aftershock go, and oh man, that is a photo finish. I can't call that. We're going to have to look at some of these pictures. That was so close. Ladies and gentlemen, the Aftershock.
I'm on fire. I tell her, baby, I'm a fireball.
And Rob Holland, who is here this weekend, because it's Mother's Day weekend with his mom and dad. So give it up for your U.S. national champion, Rob Holland. Let his mom and dad know how happy you are with his flying, how incredible he is.
I came, I conquered, or should I say I saw, I conquered, I came. This little chico on fire, ain't no lie. Well, y'all sipping, he's running the game. Now, big man, boogie, that kitty little nigga in a nice little shave. I gave Susie a little pat up on the booty and she turned around and said, walk this way.
So Wade is heading down now to the other side in the yellow safety car. Why? Well, because Mark has run it dry. For a run like that, they use every drop of fuel. So he has to be towed back. And of course, all above him right now, having a great time and getting ready for his full-on performance later this afternoon, is Rob Holland. And this is the way Rob lands. This is his approach. As you see to the right, why go out 5 miles and come all the way in and line up the runway when it's right below you? So he crabs to one side there. He takes a look. He was spinning down, taking a look. He's lined up on the runway already. But he's never always ready to just put the airplane down, because a guy like him, yeah, there he goes. He likes to do a roll on landing. A lot of pilots do a roll on takeoff in this field, but not Rob. He does one at the beginning, he does one at the end. A roll to landing, and Rob's going to be back later to show you his full routine and why this man has won the national championship 12 times as a freestyler, 11 times when it comes to the compulsories. Amazing to have him here. Our presenting sponsor, of course, Holyoke Medical Center. We thank them. Westfield Bank, Beacon Health Options, Commercial Distributing, Curry Nissan, Honda. And we also want to mention that, of course, Collins Aerospace extending a warm welcome to our employees and their families, and a special thanks to our hosts this weekend, the Barnes Air National Guard and partners. Pratt & Whitney, proud to power military aircraft for the U.S. and its allies. I can hear the Pratt & Whitney crowd. We salute those who bravely defend our freedom. Pratt & Whitney, the biggest jet engine in a fighter ever, will be demonstrated later this afternoon with the F-35A when Major Kristen Beowulf, when she puts that jet through its paces.
The sweat from the heat. Back to the back, I'm from Mac, and I know that. The way I kick the rhyme, someone call me a poet.
Give him a wave. Here he comes down. He'll be coming past you here in the Aftershock, in the after race. So impressive. And he will be back again later this afternoon. Mark Smith and the Aftershock to your right. What's that? And you know, it was fun seeing the jet out there pushing the truck around. But it's a lot more fun when it's pushing something like the Eagle around. Representing the 104th Fighter Wing, ladies and gentlemen, the return of the F-15s. Force has selected the Massachusetts Air National Guard's 104th Fighter Wing, based in Westfield, as the preferred location to host the service's next F-35A Lightning II Squadron. The Air Force's latest and most capable 5th-gen fighter arrives here soon, and you'll get a full demonstration before the afternoon is finished. Replacing the F-15s that have served this nation so well since the early 1970s, designed in the late 60s, and still so impressive today. The F-15 style of the 104th, as they pull up the gear and give you some burner passes. Fighter Wing, premier fighter wing, serving both the state and the nation. The 104th Fighter Wing prepares and deploys in support of domestic, humanitarian, and combat operations anywhere in the world. Their vision is forging leaders in defense of the nation. Their core values as a premier total force wing. They believe in the U.S. Air Force core value of integrity first, service before self. All they do. I left her this morning back at the hotel, and she said, I'm not going to set the alarm until about 9:30. I'm going to sleep in. And I said, don't bother setting the alarm, honey. Trust me. I just got this great visual, her jumping out of bed right now going, what the?
Ladies and gentlemen, setting up with their last few burner passes, the F-15.
Fighter that you see flying now began design in the late 1960s, flying first in 1972. It's going to be hard to say goodbye to this magnificent jet. The XE models, of course, going to some of the other units, but the Air Force selecting Barnes right here on the 104th.
To fly the 5th gen fighters, the F-35s, coming soon.
Listen to the crackle of those burners. And again, coming from the right now in these last series of blow-bys, up comes the gear. There'll be no excuse not to see a great shot or video of the F-15 on social media. And remember the hashtag Westfield. Heck, I'd suggest that by this time now you've got this down, the way they're coming around, to be able to get a selfie of yourself. Just get your phone out there, get you with your big smiling face, and these F-15s in the background.
Westfield Airshow.
After 30 years of doing air shows, I'm quite used to the ringing in my ears now. And I never tire of it. It never gets old. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a huge wave as they go by. These men and women from your 104th, as we recover now the F-15s, and we'll add 2 more to the sky. And you know they burned a lot of gas here right now. And not to worry, we're going to show you how they get lots more of it, even when they're in the air later this afternoon. You see the air brake coming up with all the aerodynamic braking going on to save the brakes on the jet. As the aircraft come down, they look like they're pulling wheelies way off to the right. Get as much of the airplane into the air as possible to slow it down. And then as they get it settled to taxi in, they'll be looking, and as they taxi right in towards you, I'm going to ask right now, did you get your hands in the air? Give them a huge wave, and that's a thank you for their service. They stand on guard for you and me day and night. They are ready 24/7 if they need to go anywhere, anytime. Jets, the giant RC jets, and it's almost as big as the ones you see here now. And that's another way to explore and enjoy aviation. But I will remind you as a safety message as they taxi in, and we have more and more people arriving here today. This is a no drone zone. That will be heavily enforced and prosecuted. No drones.
Has since struck fear and terror in the hearts of those foolish enough to oppose them. Relentless in their skill and courage, not only in the air, but also on the ground. These brave soldiers have forged for themselves a place of honor in America's hearts. Specialist Brandon Hexum, originally from Peoria, Illinois. It has been my proud honor to fly in our national colors on this, my 476th free fall parachute jump. I will describe for you today a demonstration of precision freefall as performed by members of your United States Army parachute team, the Golden Knights. At this time, members of the black demonstration team are circling high overhead in our distinctively painted C-147 aircraft at an altitude of 8,000 feet. The jump master is actually looking out the left door of the aircraft. His head is outside in the wind and the cold. Through a series of hand and arm signals, he is relaying heading corrections to the pilot, maneuvering the aircraft to a precise exit point for the jumpers. Watch closely as you may see the nose of the aircraft move slightly left or right in response to the steering instruction. The aircraft has been slowed to a safe exit speed of 120 miles per hour, the same speed as a freefall parachutist at terminal velocity. The jumpers are out and the smoke is on. We now have 2 jumpers in freefall, rapidly approaching speeds of 120 miles per hour. These jumpers fly their bodies together to exchange a wooden baton. Contact has been made in the 14-inch mahogany baton exchange. They now alter their body positions to form 120 mile per hour spirals in the sky. These jumpers now separate and prepare to deploy their main parachutes. There you have the high-flying black and gold of your United States Army parachute team, the Golden Knights. Mr. Charlie Hillard, former team leader of the Eagles aerobatics team, and parachute manufacturer Mr. Steve Snyder, exchanged the first baton in 1958. It was then believed that 2 jumpers in freefall could not possibly make contact.
Y'all ready for this?
The trail of smoke each jumper leaves in the sky are created by 2 M18 red smoke canisters. The jumper attaches these to one foot with a specially designed bracket and then ties the activation pins to a lanyard. By pulling on this lanyard, he or she can ignite the smoke immediately upon exiting the aircraft while in free fall or under canopy. In more conventional Army units, these same smoke canisters are used as ground-to-ground signaling devices, ground-to-air signaling devices, and screening devices to conceal troop movement. You may notice the tail of the parachute curl under. This slows the forward speed while reducing the jumper's rate of descent. The parachute has 7 openings in the front. These allow air to be forced in, inflating the flexible wing glider. As the jumper nears the target, watch the minor corrections he used with the steering lines. He is showing you the full flight characteristics of the Ram Air parachute as he brings it over the target for a fine airborne landing. Make some noise as our second jumper brings it into the target area. Jump use. It has one large door in the rear which can be opened during flight. It is pressurized for comfort during travel from Fort Bragg to various performances throughout the country. Its civilian counterpart is the Dash 8 aircraft, manufactured by Bombardier in Canada. The Golden Knights C-147s are the only 2 in existence within the Department of Defense inventory. Ladies and gentlemen, free fall parachutist would use if he were to have a problem with his main parachute. The reserve, or the auxiliary parachute used by the Golden Knights, is also a flexible wing glider such as the one you see now. However, there are some differences. It is white in color, and it is slightly smaller in wing surface area, with a much greater forward speed of up to 30 miles per hour. The recovery team is on its way. At 1,000 feet, the jumper does what is called a wind penetration check, checking his distance and speed across the ground. He then flies a downwind leg, a base leg 90 degrees to the target, and then faces into the wind for a final approach.
Sorry to interrupt, but just a heads up as
it takes a great deal of concentration in order to land dead center on the target. The jumper keeps a close eye on the windsock located in the target area. Once on final approach, he then shifts all his attention to a small black dot located in the center of the orange X. Moments ago, this jumper was more than 2 miles overhead. Thanks in part to the advanced aerodynamic design of this Ram Air parachute, the jumper is able to overcome the variability of the wind and land safely in such a small target area. Here that canopies have become entangled, but that is not the case. These jumpers are actually performing a facet of the sport called canopy relative work. With the advanced aerodynamic design of these Ram Air parachutes, it is possible to fly one parachute right up to the hands of the other jumper without adversely affecting its flight characteristics. The top jumper can then pull himself down his partner's lines and even stand on his shoulders. The formation you see here is called the side-by-side. The right jumper is now in total control of the formation. Unlike freefall, these jumpers can carry on a conversation just like you and I standing here on the ground. It is the job of the right jumper, who is the navigator, to relay altitude readings to the pilot. If you thought landing one parachute was hard, watch as they bring the biplane into the target area. If you have any questions about the many opportunities in America's first team, the U.S. Army, feel free to contact your local Army recruiter, who is here at the air show today, or give us a call at 1-800-USA-ARMY. Skill training, a soldier in today's Army can learn one of more than 200 diverse skills. At the completion of today's performance, we will bring our equipment out into the audience. Come forward to help us repack our parachutes and ask any questions about free fall parachuting or opportunities available to you in today's modern Army. Join us at the United States Army display booth, where you can get autographs from the jumpers. Feel free to stop by and talk to members of the team. Make some noise as he brings a drop flag into the target area. Your United States Army is now a highly sophisticated and technological force. We have more computers than IBM, more aircraft than any major airline, and as always, offer you an unparalleled opportunity to become a soldier in today's Army. The Army offers young people today a wide spectrum of opportunities to achieve their goals, to help make the world a better place, and to do something they can be proud of. Never provide. Each team member is proud to be serving as a soldier in the greatest nation on earth. To become a Golden Knight, each individual must first achieve 75 free fall parachute jumps, be enlisted in the Army, and have a clean military and civilian record prior to applying for the annual Golden Knights assessment and selection. During assessment and selection, candidates are evaluated for 8 weeks on character traits including teamwork, discipline, attention to detail, and teamwork. The United States Army Parachute Team was formed in 1959 at the home of the airborne, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. At that time, communication specialist with 2,428 free fall parachute jumps, Sergeant First Class Ryan Reese. From Danville, Indiana, he is an airborne infantryman with 1,375 free fall parachute jumps. Staff Sergeant Matt Garner. From Tampa, Florida, he is an airborne ranger with 2,784 free fall parachute jumps. Sergeant First Class Ryan O'Rourke. From Yuma, Arizona, he is a parachute maintenance technician with 1,492 free fall parachute jumps. Staff Sergeant Nicholas Sorosco. And leading the Golden Knights in free fall, the black team leader from Rayford, North Carolina. He is an airborne infantryman with 3,038 free fall parachute jumps. Sergeant First Class Morgan George. Ladies and gentlemen,
whether it's making stuff for aviation, designing airplanes, maintaining airplanes, or flying airplanes, just so many opportunities, and the right people are here this weekend to talk to about it. Thank ESP, VA Central Massachusetts Healthcare. They've helped out this weekend too, and we thank them. Eisenberg MBA at University of Holland Aerospace, extending a warm welcome to you. F. Pratt and Whitney, right next to me here, and that is the party tent, I'm telling you right now. We thank Pratt and Whitney, proud to power military aircraft for the U.S. and its allies. Still to come shortly, we're going to turn back the hands of time and start the powered jet story in this great nation. Speaking of Lockheed Martin, we'll go back to the Skunk Works story with the first operational jet fighter. As this Canadian-built platform that the Army uses, you've probably seen it around airports, is the Dash 8, a great new jumping platform for the Golden Knights.